Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Leonardo, this time with a Dauntless video. Now this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I already said in my previous videos that I'm going to talk about this, about the reasons they are pushing me away for Dauntless. Now I'm going to talk about the Omni Cell still, and Phalanx did get a good chance because you can find them all over the map now. But still, I still find that Dauntless pushes me back, and I'll give you some of the reasons for it. There are no particular order, but I'll just try to explain to you why I don't feel as much fun as I did playing the game. Now, let me start with the free hunt pass. The free hunt pass used to have a lot of good things to earn. You know, you could get some flares, maybe some sigils, some skins. You can even really get skins for this. The free hunt pass actually give you a skin, a more simpler skin, and then the paid hunt pass give you a proper, you know, fully attired, full accessorized skin. And also you get the paid, you get all the accessories, but not on the free. But you still had something to work for. You know, you could get maybe potions, you can get ace chips, which are now going to be removed from the game, but you had something. Right now, the free hunt pass offers very little to nothing. Sure, it offers a little bit of platinum that you can use then to buy items. If you play long enough and you complete several hunt pass, you can hoard it like I do. You know, I do that because I don't spend it all. But other than that, it just gives you rams, and it doesn't give you like a lot of rams. And ram is a problem that I'll talk further ahead. But yeah, the free hunt pass route, which was the main reason why I played the game, I played to complete the pass, doesn't exist anymore, so it's a little frustrating to play for that, unless, of course, you pay for it. The second one, and this was something that came, you know, last year with the Reforge, was the Slayer's Path. You know, that big tree that you had to fill with merits and rams really turned a lot of players off. I mean, a lot of players left the game because of it, and I understand why they did it. I mean, the tree that they included had it and has too many nodes. To fill up an entire branch takes a lot of merits and a lot of rams. It takes like 200,000 rams to fill up one of the branches, and that was a lot. And people started complaining, and rightfully so, because many people like me already had completed the mastery challenges and all that, and that power got taken away. Of course, because, you know, players complain, they just returned everything to the player. Everything that was combat, that was for combat, got returned to the player, or all power went back. But that still left us with a few problems. First of all, now we do nothing with combat merits. I'm still earning combat merits that I don't need, and I'm not going to put in them anywhere. So why am I still earning them? Why can't I just earn exploration, which is the one I need? And second of all, to open up the other ones, you still need a lot of rams. It still takes a lot of merits and rams. Merits are actually not that bad to earn, but rams are really complicated because rams can only be earned by playing the game, and you have to play the game a lot to get 200,000 rams. I know people are going to say, "Oh no, I can do it with this method and in this trials and this." Sure, there's shortcuts and there's exploits and there's ways to earn money fast, and I did that. But once you fill up one or two branches or three, it starts to be grindy. It starts to be a task to just get money to complete these branches, to get them all up to par. So completing this tree really is the underbelly end game of the game. So it's just earning rams and merits to complete this tree. And I think that if they just did a smaller tree with smaller nodes, maybe just 2 or 3 nodes per branch, and then keep adding it, I don't know, every 6 months or 3 months or every year, that will take the a little bit of the pressure off, so you can just, you know, fill up those branches as you go along with your own rhythm. But because they installed so many branches and so many nodes right off the bat, people want to have the sense of completion. They want to complete the nodes to progress ahead, and it becomes grinding and it becomes frustrating. So, you know, if you're like me, you know, just take your time to complete it. But after a while, I just stopped, you know, really caring about the branch. I got, you know, the ones that I wanted, the ones I feel that I needed the most, or I think that was more important, especially the ones that give you more power. Potions give you more power, but the other ones not. One of the branches that I feel that should be removed, actually I think the item entirely should be removed, is grenades. Grenades do nothing on the game. There's no particular event or particular behemoth or particular gameplay that you need grenades for. So why are they still in the game? I mean, sure, if I got a slot just for grenades that I could take, sure, I might use them, but I'm not going to take away, one of my slots for potions and put a grenade on it. Nobody will do it. I mean, they'll do it probably in the beginning. They'll do it maybe because the bounties require them to do it. But other than that, grenades really don't do anything. And there's a bunch of nodes to fill up for grenades on the Slayer's path. And, I just left it as is, and I think most players will do that too. Now, still on the Slayer's path, the big thing that, it looks good, but it really isn't that good, which was the Reforge. Now, with Reforge, you can get more power to your weapon, more speed to your weapons, and that power and speed that you win gets transferred to all the weapons. That in itself isn't bad. It's actually pretty good, and it does give you a little something to do once you complete the weapons and the armor that you want to forge from the several behemoths. But it takes a really long time. Now, at first, I wasn't too averse to it because, Warframe has a similar thing where you put a forma on a weapon and the weapon loses all of its power, so you need to use the weapon again to build it up. But of course, Warframe has shortcuts where in about, an hour or two, you can put the weapon up to par really easy. On Dauntless, this was kind of possible in the beginning because they didn't cap the XP that you earned. So players with good gear could just get a weapon, go to R-tier hunting grounds or escalations, and just farm the XP there and level up the weapon that fast. But then they saw people doing this too fast. There was people leeching, which was bad because 6 players and only 1 or 2 actually had the weapon up to par were having to carry the other ones. So they introduced solo ground or private hunting grounds, so you can go in solo. That was great, but also capped the XP, and I thought that was wrong because now if I go to a lower rank, I only get 194 XP, and to a higher rank in acceleration you only get 270 XP. So you can't just jump ahead all the time. You can't just take the weapon up the head all the time, and even in hunting grounds, it's still capped. It only works if you take the weapon against the behemoth that is 5 levels ahead of you. If he's 6 or 7 levels ahead of you, you don't get that XP. The only island where that is not capped is Blazeworks. But to get your weapon to the level to go to Blazeworks, you need to have at least level 10. And to get level 10, you have to do all the other grind in the old method. And that takes too long. And besides, even if you are doing it fast enough, you get burned out real fast. And I mean, I did 3 weapons. I did the axe for power, and I did strikers for speed. And I'm already burned out about it. Sure, I'm doing the sword now because that's what I'm missing, but I don't really need the weapon to charge faster. I don't really need stamina because I got potions for it. So I'm doing it really slowly, and I'm finding it boring. I'm finding it boring doing the thing. I already found it boring before, but right now I don't feel engaged in just, taking a weapon down to the lower level and then barrel it up again. Furthermore, I thought it was going to be fixed with this new update where they said, oh, you can now earn XP with a weapon that it's at full charge. And I said, okay, my weapon is full charge, my axe is at full charge, my hammer, I can take it to, Blazeworks and earn the XP there and then transfer it to the weapons that I leveling up, like the sword. But no, what they did is you reforge your weapon only gets XP for that particular weapon. Which doesn't make a lot of sense because if they are max, if they are level 10, if you did 10 reforges on it, you really have no reason to be reforging that weapon anymore. You will not get any more power out of it. So, unless you're doing it for the, the golden sigil, the golden shield, which feel free to do that, it doesn't get any benefit out of it. So, I was very disappointed with this game. I mean, Reforge itself was like, it was already supposed to be the end game, but the way they just halted our progress was not good, and I didn't like that they tricked us into this. Now, last but not least, my biggest hindrance with the game is rumors. They started putting rumors as part of events. They were like this. First of all, they had this task with the list of stuff to do. That was fine, but then they started lists on top of lists. So now you get 7 lists of tasks to get a cosmetic. It's not so like to get a legendary weapon or something, it's a cosmetic. And on top of that, there's a bunch of grind that you need to do, and some of the tasks are really complicated to get if you're not at up level. For instance, like to get 3,000 damage on a behemoth, that you have to do it yourself. You can't have a teammate do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. If you don't know the builds, if you don't know the behemoth, if you don't understand how the weapons work, and you're just entering the game and decided, oh, I'm going to do this rumor, you might be stuck with a rumor for a couple of months, really. Rumors are actually so bad that for each step that you cannot complete, they just slide in, oh, you can bait to skip right here. Another level, oh, you can bait to skip right here. And they keep doing this at every level, which I think is a really underhand way of trying to monetize your game, and I don't agree with it. So I didn't like what they did. I didn't like it at first. They did I didn't play any rumor for a while, and then I decided to, well, maybe I'll try it again. And now I'm stuck with a quad hammer and another one which is for the gauntlets, with the quad hammer gauntlets, which requires 50 phased pellicles from the carnivore. Now the carnivore is already a complicated behemoth to beat. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know how I feel about it. But now you get to have breaks, and these phased pellicles only drop if you break him on a ether state. And to get him on the ether state is not complicated, but to get a break on an ether state, I mean, getting breaks is already complicated. I know they changed the fins to be, easier to break, but it's not just the fin, it's everything about him that you can get on an ether state. So I get about 1 or 2 phased pellicles per fight, and I need 50. And there's 2 rumors that actually require this, and I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm stopping this. I'm stop playing the game, because at this point, rumors are just making the game more grindy. It doesn't have to be. I mean, this is for cosmetics. It's not like a high tier weapon or anything. This is just for you to grind it out as long as you can. That's it. So there's no wonder that we've seen less and less rumors being added to give it. And even with this recent event, with the Dark Harvest event, they didn't add properly rumors. They just had tasks for you to do, to get each item. You can see the entire list of what you had to do. So maybe you could choose what you did and what you didn't. Still, it was very grindy. Many people complained that you only had 2 weeks to do the if you wanted to do the entire set. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to even touch that. But those that did complain. So it's no wonder that no more rumors are actually being added to the game. Now with each update you get a small quest, kill X behemoths, or kill this type of elemental behemoth, or use this weapon to kill some behemoths. That's okay. And the challenges for the reward cache, that's okay too. You can, especially now that you can take your time and do them at your own pace, because then don't go away per week. Per week you can do the ones of the week before, and you keep building up every time you play. That's cool. But for rumors itself, I've seen that they are grinding down on that. They're not adding more, because I think, like most players, they just decide, okay, I know this is going to be a grindy task. I'm not going to be stuck at some point, so I'm not going to do it. So they remove it. But what they did was replace them with part requirements for new armor and weapons. Now, the requirements are already insane for some parts, for some weapons. I mean, the Agris had this problem where you can only get 1 part of his Vine arm, 1 per fight, and you needed 10, which I thought didn't make any sense. I mean, they need to understand that if you need 10 parts, and there's only 1 part of the behemoth that drops that, it's going to take a lot of time. So they're there with Agris. Then they're now with the carnivore, which you need 10 fins for each weapon, which I don't think it makes any sense, because you only get 2 fins per weapon at best. So you need to fight them 5 times, and 5 times for each weapon is a lot. But now, with the recent addition, the Phalanx, they just went over the top with it. To build any weapon for this guy, you need to fight him 9 times. I always break the head and the tail. The head is for the weapons, and the tail is for the armor. So for each one, you need like 38 fights and maybe a couple of 100 fights just to get all the weapons, which I think doesn't make any sense. I mean, what they did was, okay, people aren't playing for rumors, but they are playing for the weapons. They like the gear. Fine, we'll just increase the amount of requirements and parts for the gear, and we'll trap them in the game like this. And I've seen this before. I played Warframe for a lot of years, and Warframe has done this kind of BS before, and they learn from it. They learn because, the community just turned on them, and rightfully so, because the grind in Warframe is just there. It's just a part of the game, but it's just so much that people complain, and this is the same thing. I know these are free to play games, and I know they have to have some kind of mechanic to have player retention, but this is not the way to do it. It's not by tricking the players, not by increasing the amount of hours that they need in the game to get a certain item that they are going to have players playing. I mean, sure, the first ones that get in might be, oh, this is nice, I can get parts easily. But as is, they're not doing us any favor. We're actually doing them a favor for them. We keep playing the game, and so they have the high player counts and the high retention rates for the game. But this is not the way to do it, and this has been pushing me away from the game more and more and more. I mean, I'm still trying to get the last part for the corner board. For the phalanx, I've just completely abandoned even fighting the phalanx or trying to farm the phalanx, because I know that after the phalanx will be another behemoth where it will need not 9 parts per weapon, but it'll be 10 or 15. And if players keep playing, they'll just keep increasing. They'll find the breaking point and they'll just stop just a little bit before that, so you keep playing, and that's it. I'm sorry if this video was kind of a rant, but I just wanted to get this out of my chest because the game is good, the gameplay is good. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, you know how I feel about the gameplay with the camera and controls and all that, and they haven't fixed anything. They haven't even changed that. So they haven't changed any of that or improved any of that, and now they're unloading this workload on us to, get anything out of the game, and I'm not enjoying it. A game should be played for entertainment, for fun, and not like a daily job that you have to do every day to get something out of it. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed this little rant that I did, or if you have anything to say about the game, please write it down in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a great game, guys.